Boeing's first aircraft, and the New Zealand mystery. In 1915, William Boeing, 1881 to 1956, from a wealthy German immigrant family and now big in the lumber industry, learned to fly in this Glenn Martin TA seaplane in Los Angeles. He was fascinated with flying and purchased one of these aircraft, which he had shipped to his base in Seattle, Washington State, USA. In 1916, Boeing's imported Glenn Martin seaplane was damaged on Lake Union, Seattle, where he flew it. Boeing could not wait months for the spare parts and repairs, so he and friend Conrad Westervelt decided they could more quickly build a better seaplane. The result was this Boeing Model 1 B&W, their initials, seaplane. They also then decided to go into the aircraft business. Westervelt soon left the business and went on to a distinguished career in the Navy and military aviation. To make the Boeing Model 1 B&W seaplane, Boeing and Westervelt bought this old boathouse hangar on the Dumarmish River, south of Seattle, Washington State, the original Boeing Plant 1. The building has been beautifully preserved, and is now part of the expansive Museum of Flight at present-day KBFI Boeing Field, King County International Airport. Beautifully preserved Boeing Plant 1 is now part of the expansive Museum of Flight at today's KBFI Boeing Field, King County International Airport. The beautifully restored interior of the original Boeing Plant 1, where the first Boeing Model 1 B&W seaplanes were made, now part of the Museum of Flight at KBFI Airport. A replica of the Boeing Model 1 B&W seaplane suspended in another part of the Museum of Flight. Overflying present-day KBFI Boeing Field, King County International Airport, heading north towards Seattle City, Washington State, in a Czechoslovak Letov S-328, first flight 1929, as there is no Boeing Model 1 B&W in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Original Boeing Plant 1 just in front and to the right of the nose of the aircraft, small red-sided building. Dumarmish River left-hand side. The rest would have been largely undeveloped open space when the Boeing Model 1 B&W first flew in 1916. I think Seattle may have changed a bit since Boeing's days. Lake Union, just north of Seattle, where Boeing flew his imported, and then his first self-built, seaplanes. Let's see how the AI pilot lands. Turning final. Not bad. The first two Boeing Model 1 B&W aircraft, named Bluebill and Mallard, rejected by the USA Navy, was sold to famous New Zealand pioneering aviators, the Walsh brothers, and shipped to their flying school at Mission Bay, Auckland in 1918, shown here in 1920. Theirs was the first flying school in NZ, and the first private flying school in the British Empire to train military pilots. The Walsh's flying school lasted until 1923-24 when it was taken over and closed by the government. Up until that time, from 1918, the two Boeing Model 1 B&W aircraft provided useful service in NZ for passengers, airmail, freight, joy flights, exhibitions, aerial surveys etc., and were involved in several record flights. NZ altitude record of 6,500 feet, first official NZ airmail service, and first one-day flight from Auckland to Wellington. After the school ceased operations in 1923-24, and the government took over and closed it, the fate of the two Boeing Model 1 B&W seaplanes gets lost in stories and legends, as no official records about them have ever been found. One legend is that they were scrapped, or even burned, as was not uncommon at the time for outdated timber aircraft. A more popular legend says they were crated and hidden inside the labyrinth of old underground military tunnels at historic North Head in Auckland, but investigations and excavations to date have found nothing. It is said that Boeing would pay a fortune for one of the aircraft. Flying west towards Auckland, NZ, just about to overfly the Walsh Brothers Flying School on Mission Bay. North Head Historic Area, with its underground wartime tunnels, is at the right-hand side wingtips. The Walsh's Mission Bay Flying School was at the far end of the beach ahead, just before the green area. It had started 2 bays further along the coast, at Ora Cay, but soon moved to Mission Bay. The flying school was where the circle is in the green reserve just ahead of the aircraft. It covered 6 or 7 acres. The rest of the area was largely unpopulated. Historic North Head, off right wings. Flying school on Mission Beach across the water from North Head. Now to finish up, enjoy the following real-life footage of a replica Boeing Model 1 B&W seaplane taking flight. They say Boeing was a perfectionist, and if the seaplane imported by him was a sedan, the Model 1 B&W made by him was a sports car. Goodbye.